They're ready.
I am here with the most recently evicted house guest, Glow, who is here to dish the dirt with this what looks like the Little Mermaid's boobs. Corey, Rhonda, and Michael on Extra Whip now on Big Brother Cheesecake 8 Political Bait. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 8 Political Bait. It's day 53 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and this week Dustin is the head of household. Again. And at the time of this recording, we do not know who he has nominated. This is his 4th out of 5 head of households wins, but that's not what we're here to discuss. We are here with the most recently evicted house guest, Glow, who is here with us. We're all very, very, very sad about that, myself included. So I will give you the floor, Glow, and I have a feeling no one else is going to get a word in after your opening speech. But what would you like to say? Why do you think you're here, and what are your thoughts in general?
I'm here because there's a lot of players in there that have no spine. They're spineless, have no guts. They're afraid to take a chance. They're just so full of bullshit. They play follow the leader and wham, wham, wham.
Who's the leader?
I was going to say, who's the leader, Glow?
Follow the leader. Let's see. Penny follows the leader.
Okay.
Gaby's the goat, according to everybody in there. I'm not the one that said he was a goat. They call him a goat. Gina talks a lot of, by the way, it's gonna find this hard that I said this. Gina's smart, but I don't know how brave she really is. I'm gonna say she's not very brave in this game. And little baby Jonathan, who's the only one forgiven, he is a worrywart. He needs to be mothered in games. And talked kind of like a big tune. When it comes down to it, nobody was there for me. You know.
Well, one person was. Who do you think that one vote was?
Possibly Alex.
Maybe, maybe not.
We don't know. I don't know.
So, Glow, let's rewind a little bit because I think the game's, well, you can argue the game was never at the highest point of the hill, but it started to go downhill for you when you went into the main chat one day and with Brooke, you confronted her and kind of sunk her game, which I feel like she was a shield for you. And you were evicted in one of the weeks where Glow, or where Brooke rather, could have been on the block as the replacement nominee post veto. So why? Like, walk me through what happened that week.
You know what I thought about? I watched what you said about that without going heavy into that, in the video you put up. And I never even thought about that could be a mistake until I heard your viewpoint. So thanks for that. Because I always learn from past experience, in games where to go and not to go. But I was kind of evil that day. I wasn't just one of them evil minds the way my game had gone. I didn't feel sorry for Brooke. I didn't feel sorry for anybody. And Gina brought me that information. So now everybody knows what they thought it anyway. Gina brought that information to me. And I said, "Hell's bells, you know what to do, Glow, right or wrong." Um, so it was kind of like a even Steven. If you do this, that's going to happen. If you don't do this, that's going to happen. Well, I had felt like I had suffered so much in the beginning. I don't mean, everybody goes up, and I ain't talking about that moment. When all the alliances were forming, I wasn't in anything but one-on-ones for the longest time. Well, comparatively speaking. And then I just got hog wild crazy. And I got to the point. Go ahead. You want to ask a question,
Oh,
Corey?
I
Baby?
was just gonna say
You.
with the whole Brooke thing, Glow, first off, I'm so sad to see you here. You were my only hope. I needed you left in the game, and now Team Corey is a dream dead in the water. But what I was gonna say about the whole Brooke thing is you were just going off of the information you had and how it was presented to you, and you chose to react to it. Like I know a lot of people said this and that, but it's just like you were you were told someone's gunning for you, so of course you're gonna have a reaction to that.
Well, I didn't just do whatever the way Andrew puts things across to me, like just jump at the spur of a moment. I was very aware of what I was doing if I put that up in a public chat.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, there's more than just, that question mark. So if you want the answers, you put something out there in any game in the public and bring it to the eye of everybody, all in whatever it is, though, whatever the situation is. And I said, people are going to come out of the carpet or they're not going to do anything at all, and be cowards.
Yeah.
Well, they jumped right on it. And just like I anticipated, Andrew may not think that I actually plan things. I plan almost everything I do. It doesn't mean that I'm bright, that I'm always right. I give great thought to statistically what can happen. I believe in statistics.
Well, and I mean, you would have been safe this week if the coup hadn't been used. You would have survived. I mean, you're kind of the victim of the twist.
Kathy of the season, yeah. So the first ever coup was used in Big Brother Cheesecake history. And I do want to ask you, Glow, your opinion, because I was pretty vocal about it yesterday, and some house guests were not happy about it, or not yesterday, but Wednesday's episode. But I kind of compared, this whole coup Curtis thing to, the lion squashing the ladybug, or people walking into the hospital taking the plug out of the person in the coma. Do you think that this was the right move, or do you think this was a huge mistake?
I think it was a huge mistake. He needed to look at the numbers. If I'm wrong on my thought wave here, I want you to, feed me back some information because I learned. Statistics and numbers. There's a time and place to do anything. Why not wait and play that coup? It's going to bring about the same kind of thing, maybe one less number depending on when you do it. So didn't I go out at 9 and there leaves 8 there? Why not let somebody else drop that time, and then he's going to have to deal with the worry of what Curtis is going to do or whatever, is still out there in power. But make it where your back's going to be covered, where you got 4 people, at least 4 to 4. I mean, it'd been better at the time 4 to 3, but he thinks more for himself. Thank you, grandson. I love you too. And I think that the when you start talking to people that's got your back, like what's happened with Zach, he had thought about what was being said in the background about backdooring Zach, and then he turned to Jonathan. He's already using his own people. You never use anything and lose your power and strength that's kind of backing you up. That's just my theory. And that's what I think he did. And then everybody behind his back, I went to Curtis, I went to Davey, I went to everybody to go after Dustin. And you know what? They're a bunch of suck ups. I love it. No balls to make a deal when they could have brought me over and had a possibly another number, when they could not if they had all gotten in a track, got where I did anything to go after all of them, even though I was in my own way, my own silent way. So there they are now. It's backfired. Dustin lost me. Curtis played his thing and it's backfired on him. I laughed my ass off at that.
That's not the first time that's happened, right, Rhonda?
Yeah, but then we teamed up with them, so whatever. Like, I don't know. Whatever. That was a weird season.
But you still nominated him when he used the Emerald Power Veto on your head of household. You still did nominate him that week. Yep. It was only after that that you teamed up with him.
Yeah. And I mean, and that, I mean, you know, there was something, I just didn't know if I could pull the trigger on something and do something else. But anyway, yeah, still nominated him anyway. But so it's the same thing, right? And I'm seeing my sense would tell me chances are highly likely that probably Curtis might go up. Like, I don't know. I mean, what would you do if someone stole your power? I mean, kind of your gut instinct would be, okay, well, you're going up again. Like, I don't know.
Well, based on the argument that you were in Glow, you saw the argument going on. There was Zachy screaming at you, and then there was Curtis and Dustin going at it, and everybody else was just watching. And it was quite entertaining.
Why was Zachy upset? I couldn't follow that.
Because I was an asswipe. He said he was going to play the colossal advantage. I knew I was going home because of the stupid move of Dustin. It was like a sequence of event, and I knew I was going home. All the who and ahs, and I might do this, and the gutless, spineless wonders. Afraid to even do a tie. Give me a break, please, guys. I mean,
do you think the vote went against you? Like, do you think people coming on here? We've had several people that said if Glow makes it to final two, she's going to win. Do you think that swayed people at all?
No, I think at that thought, I think that was definitely all being talked about because I was called a social threat. You know, I mean, damn, I mean, you know who made that happen? He's sitting over there called the honorable host.
Are you wearing short pants to prove that those are your legs?
I was going to point that out. I was going to be like, she's showing us the legs.
Sorry.
So there was a famous scene in Big Brother US All Stars where Julie Chen asked Chicken George, some people thought you didn't know what you were doing, while others thought it was brilliant genius. What did you think of that? And George goes, I don't know, Julie. I have no idea. And then a man dressed as Colonel Sanders came and gave him chicken, and it then was odd. So my question to you is, I sometimes refer to you as a bumbling buffoon or an aloof goof, and some people on the Extra Whip panel thought you were a genius. So my question is, are you in Mensa and are a genius, or are you more on the aloof goof side, or somewhere in the middle? And we've played together, so I actually know the real answer, but I didn't want to say it while you were in the house. But
very, very, very smart woman. And if you were here, I'd stick my foot up your ass for putting comments on all my stories. Every one of them's true, and you really pissed me off about that. Lucky to be alive. I don't need to tell the stories. You said I was going to come in here and do them. You already saw them. That is only 1/10. I have put my life on the line. I have hidden my family. I've had contracts on my life. I've been on talk shows. Ex-cop was embarrassed, found out she's married a con artist. I mean, those are all stories without going into them. That's only a little bit of why I'm lucky to be alive. I've had miracles starting since the age of 8 from prayer and church. So you're getting the stories all on blast mode. My mind can tell my story because I've lived them, I've walked through it, and I would not be here if it was not for God Almighty. I'm not fake. When I come off as a goofball, I know exactly what I'm doing. I should have been an entertainer. You know, you go to 500 people. I was the first one that got the part. You know, had never only took drama in college, hadn't really, you know, gone to learn how to be an actress and all that bullshit. Nobody's got to teach me how to do that. I can do it very well. Because in my line of work in life, cop and other things, Oh, and I've only had probably about 50 to 60 jobs in my life, Andrew.
That many?
I've worked to raise my children as much as 4 jobs at one time. Owned my own business, happiest in my life for 8 years. Had 2 special needs children. One's a miracle story with the Christmas story, blah, blah, blah. It's right there. It's in the paper. I've lived it. I've walked it. I've done it. God put me here for a purpose. And I love being a clown because I think humor changed my life. I believe it's a healer of all sorrows. And I can tell a story just like I'm talking to y'all. Just almost like automatic, like I walked back in time and did it. And I'm so factual on my recalls.
And if I may ask, how many jobs do you currently have? Because some people did mention Glow wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to my first of 5 jobs today. Bye. And then she's gone for the whole day and they couldn't reach her.
I call it my shifts. As you know, don't feel sorry for me. It's over and done with. I almost lost my house, had struggles, some with the hunting accident, blah, 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 everything you're aware of. Nobody ever wanted during COVID to really hire somebody my age. I'm now 70. I finally got a city job, and you need to go check this out, Andrew, because I come up with such tales. I can actually become a police officer now at the age of 70 in the city of Chesapeake, Virginia. But I would go back in a heartbeat if I didn't have to go back on the street, because right now I would be too trigger happy in the stand time.
I'm sorry.
I know how to use a gun, and there's nothing like just sitting back looking like you're scared to death. And the whole time I says, I'm just waiting for the moment. When he crosses the line, I'll blow his fucking head off. I was tested and had the highest. Go ahead, ask a question.
Oh, I was just going to say,
I was going to ask a question.
Andrew's compared you to Steven a few times in some of the videos. And me and Rhonda played with Steven. He's the one who won our season. And he played kind of the same way, where it was like, no one knew if this guy was serious, if he was just a joke, if he was actually playing. And he was the smartest out of all of us. Like, it was, well, most of us there. I would say him and Karen were, the way they ran the game was pretty impressive. So, but I know that's the sense I'm getting from you, Glow, is that you put out this persona, but deep down you're calculating everything at all times.
Oh, absolutely. I love to be a social queen because at the same time, when I'm using that side of my personality to kind of be in a socialization thing, bringing laughter when you know it's dramatic, it's always fun to be the one that can be the joke.
Yeah.
Andrew was perfect. I gave him all the footage he could ever want in the world, stuff I came up with, but come up with was the wrong usage of words. I've done these things. And he asked me about the job, so I'm gonna get back on that real quick. I'm a school crossing guard. I work for the police department through the city of Chesapeake. And I have I call it 4 shifts. I have 2 schools, 2 times a day. That's why you say out the door and in the door and out the door and in the door. And then I've been in another job for 3 years as a cashier at a grocery store. I do work a lot to be my age. And you know what? I mean, I got to work hard and stay lively because my kids have really given me an impossible dream that they want. They want me to be a damn 104 years old. And I don't know if I could pull that one off.
Rhonda's right there. Just ask how she does it.
Oh.
There's nobody in this game. There's nobody sitting here on this panel of the whip that's even near my age. I'll be 71 next month.
Yeah, it's a
No,
joke.
but I seriously act like I'm 104. Like I go to bed at 7:30 at night. I whine. I like nap all the time. I'm miserable. I'm cantankerous. I don't like anything.
You're
I
a
hate talking
cat.
to people. Get off my lawn, kids. Like seriously, that's how this got started. Because really, I'm 104 at heart. Actually, this June will be 105. Don't I look great?
You look lovely.
Now
Darling, if I was gay, I'd bang you.
Glow 71, but Charlene is close. She must be approaching that, right, Joanne? You would know.
Your bestie?
Yeah, Joanne loves Charlene.
So what was I'm just curious because, you were always very good at entertaining and putting yourself out there and giving the stories. What was like your favorite part of this season?
Jonathan.
Oh.
Being his brother hen.
Oh.
Little baby Jonathan. The second young man that's come in my life, which is a story, Andrew. You said we'll never get to talk because Glow will talk nonstop and not let us get a word in edgewise. Which, if you noticed, I'm telling it quick. Young man named Caleb, you ought to get him in your game. Came in my life at 14 when I first got into orgs. I had been founded by William Yelton, that's in production and some kind of production at the. I think William found me on YouTube when I was founded by the local news, WTKR, and used to report and critique the players of Survivor Gabon. You'd have to go back how many years that is. I got founded on YouTube when they were interested in me for Fiji. I weighed 172 pounds, did a workout, became a comic on YouTube, and the local news was watching me and they saw the weight pouring off of me. It looked, like that time thing they do, I think it's called, with people that are losing weight. I lost 20 some pounds and it was 21 to 24 pounds in 14 days. And I lost over 50 some pounds in exactly 2 months. Got founded. So then somebody brought me into the org world named William Yelton that works for Survivor. Go look it up, Andrew. I can't remember what department he's in, production, editing, or something. So that's been over 10 years ago. So then the online Skype game started up because somebody else founded me. I was scared to do live talks of a 14-year-old playing these games. He's now 24. He did everything what I told him to do. He's like an adopted son. He's in California. He was homeschooled. And he has loved me since the day he talked to me to this day now. A phone, if you want to see it, Andrew, named Caleb Shorey.
Is he single?
And that's what.
Hey, and it's not a BlackBerry, Andrew. You fucking old man phone dude.
And I saw him in, like if you're on Skype, and he showed me this cutting of like he was at a school play or something. And I said, you need to go get an agent. He got an agent and he's been in movies and commercials and everything. That's my dream when he shows up at my door. His dream is, I'm sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
No, that's okay, finish.
His dream, Caleb's dream is to have a sitcom. Now, this is his dream. I didn't think this one up. And he wants to live in an apartment with his grandma that lives next door. And I'm to be the old lady grandma that always keeps an eye on her grandson on who's good for him and who's not with the girls. I'm the granny that walks around with the gorgeous legs.
So like every other sitcom on TV.
In the miniskirt.
Is it going to start Katherine Heigl so it can get canceled right away? I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
No,
and then who was it that didn't? Why is she a D-list star? Who is that? Dustin?
Katherine Heigl was one because she gets.
No, like was it like Dustin was complaining about that she was D-list?
Louis Tomlinson from One Direction.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, Go, are you actually close with Debbie from Survivor? Boobs.
Yes, I am. It's a true story. It's a true story. I've heard through the grapevine behind the scenes. Debbie actually posted on my wall that she named a chicken after me. I think it was on my birthday one year. I might be wrong about that from memory. And that night was so chaotic and wild and funny to me. When I watch the show Survivor, the rule is you don't talk to me, you don't interrupt me, you don't call call me for that 1 hour a week outside of life and death. I mean, outside of commercial, that would be the only time I get up, and go get a Pepsi or something was on a commercial. One night I had to wee wee, and it was no waiting for a commercial. I had to go. So I'm going to the bathroom. I'm sorry, Michael, it's a true story.
Oh, I love you, and I am so entertained by all of this. So just please keep going.
So I come back into the room, like, Survivor's on, run to the bathroom. My Skype is going off, my Facebook is going off, and I've never been able to explain what I mean by Facebook. It's rolling like all these messages, like 2030, like you see Tom and Joe and Mary and Lynn, in the Facebook, and the messages were rolling on Facebook over top of each other. And the Skype was ringing, and I was cussing these damn orgers. I told them not to call me when I'm watching Survivor. And it was, so finally on the following commercial, that when a commercial comes on, I says, what the hell is wrong with everybody tonight during Survivor? What the hell? They were saying, whoa, I know that's you. I know that's you. Debbie and Ty, she named the chicken Gloria, and then she announced the next day on my Facebook wall that, yes, she named it after me because I inspired her not to give up when I fussed her out for the show Survivor. I had talked to Debbie for 9 years off and on before she ever got aired. She even called to let me know when it was coming on that I was on, because I'd lose my mind if she had never told me. Yeah, it's a true story.
Why do you always end Why do you always end every story with, yeah, that's a true story?
Self-affirmation,
Andrew.
Because
of you.
Self-affirmation.
I'm about to lose my confidence because of you. But making fun of the story.
It just reminds me of Judge Judy. And Judge Judy, whenever somebody says, I'm just being honest, Your Honor, and she's like, no, you're not. Whenever you say you're being honest, you're not being honest. We are done here. Anyway, so Glow, who do you think is going to win the game, and who do you want to see win the game?
I've been thinking about that. I'm not sure I give a damn about who wins the game. Really. Okay. I mean, did you see the video? I'm going to answer the question. Did you see the video when I wrote at the top, I don't care what I say?
Does it work now? Because it didn't work when I originally clicked the link.
I don't know. I had done that early this morning, and I don't know if it's done. But what I was going to ask you is, if I have to reload that, can I send it to you and put it in there, since it would have been in that chat with the timestamp before you let me go?
Yes.
I think it's fair. It's not like, an addition now. I timestamped it, had to go to work. It was loading. That's why the code went in first. And I guess when I walked out, maybe it fell asleep or something. You know that word where it pauses, it goes to sleep on videos when you load them?
Somebody in the house said, I can't say who because I don't want them to lose a jury vote, but somebody in the house said, don't open it. It's probably a virus. But I can't tell you who said that. But okay, so you don't want anybody to win. Who do you think is going to win? That was like Joanne in season 2. She got on my bus after she was in season 2, and she goes, Andrew, if it is Ashley and Chanel in the final 2, I'm not voting. I don't care. I have to get off at the next stop. Anyway, sorry, Glow. So who do you think is going to win?
I hope Dustin, which I didn't feel that way. I hope he aces it all the way to the end, and I hope he takes Jonathan to final 2.
Okay, that would be...
Did I say Dustin?
Well, so then given that, Glow, Dustin and Jonathan in the final 2, would you vote for Dustin or Jonathan?
I would probably have to give it to Dustin, honestly, because Jonathan's still a newbie with a lot to learn, but he's very smart. But he's got no backbone yet for this game. He's got no backbone yet for this game. I hope he develops it in this game. I don't like people that don't have backbone in games. I don't like whiners. Even though I can play that cue very well. I can whine, or I can be a bitch, and be a goofball dumbass, don't know what she's doing. Which, by the way, sometimes I have been a dumbass, not knowing what I was doing. With, when you come on
We all had that moment.
video. I mean, thanks for making me a shithead and those kind of things. But I'm 70. I didn't go to college and learn technology like you.
I mean, yeah, you didn't quite, you won Bridget's poo protection, which you didn't end up needing. Didn't really know what it was anyway, so kind of, worked itself out.
I didn't know what half the shit was until I didn't know what half the shit these twists were for the longest time. But after I got it, I got it.
Right. Did you have fun, Glow? Uh-oh.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I fell in love with Corey. I would bang him in a heartbeat if he wasn't married. He could be gay. I don't know.
Me too.
Don't you just love Corey? And I believe Corey was sincere and believed in my game. Corey read my yeah, he read my signals. She's up to something. I'm not saying you said that, but I feel like in your head, there's a reason Glow did this. There's a purpose behind it. There's a statistical reason. There's always 90% of the time. And I've done some stuff by accident that was hysterical, that was brilliant, that I wasn't aware I've done through the years that I can't even remember. I just remember them talking about it. I'm thinking, I never thought of it like that. Like another angle of being judged for something I did in whatever game.
Did you ever accidentally pull the wrong chat? That happened all the time in our season. People would be writing in chat.
Has anybody done that? Yeah, accidentally. That's something to because you guys had a lot of chats, right? Like
I think Glow did it, but it wasn't anything like terrible. Like it wasn't something
unlike ours.
Game. There was one earlier in the season. I think it was. I can't remember who it was. There was one earlier. I remember.
You showed it. You probably shouldn't say names because I think they're both in the game still. I know who. I remember who it was.
Yeah. So with that said, who will win the Golden Power of Veto? Find out tomorrow. And will they use it in the Golden Power Veto ceremony? Find out on Monday. Tuesday is the final luxury competition of the season, and Joanne will make us a recipe that is very polarizing. Some will love it, some will hate it. And the final two And the final two nominees will plead their case. And Wednesday's the next live eviction and head of household competition, where another house guest will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 8 house, get impeached from Congress, and lose their shot at the $800 cash prize. I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Take care, and remember, bad officials are the ones elected by good citizens who choose not to vote. Good night.